Hey folks, welcome to Sunday Night Futures Live. This is Bob Desmond over the Contrarian Trader. And the futures are open. We have a new trading week and we're about flat at the open here. We'll allow some time for the futures to settle down. We'll do a quick run through of the futures, how things are opening up. I think the big story is going to be, I believe it's still Tropical Storm Cristobal coming up through the Gulf. I think the trade to watch this week is going to be the energy play. How will the tropical storm, possible hurricane, impact the energy stocks? We have some exposure to natural gas. We're going to go to that chart in a moment. I know, Chuck, you're curious about that, as am I. We have a bunch of member stock chart requests to go to. And we're going to go over some economic data. I have to tell you, we're starting off the week here. I spent a little bit too much time today on Twitter, and it's shocking that the futures are up. The social decay that you're seeing in the West right now is just really mind-bogglingly disturbing, and the rule of law is just disintegrating in front of our eyes, and I don't know where the leadership is going to come from, but the world's gone insane. So avoid Twitter, please, and let's get to the futures, and then we'll get to some requests. Let's do, let's take a look at who's here first. We have Franklin. Hey, Franklin. TA. Jedi, hello. XOM. You got it, Jedi. Trader Isaac, yes, smash the like button. I always forget that. Thank God for you. Smash that like button, please. I'm a bad YouTuber. Eric, hello, brother. NY Jets, hello. Tesla, you got it. Mr. G, hello. Hello from boarded up Los Angeles. I'm sorry, man. It's no better here in New York. I mean, is absolutely. It's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Nicholas, how are you, my friend? How are things over in France? You have social unrest over there? Amerimigo, hello, sir. Will, hello. Denny, hey, Denny. Patrick. Eric, hello. RL, hello. OSTK, you got it, TA. And Thomas, hello. SSYS. Never heard of that one. Can you let me know what sector they're in and how you're looking to trade it? Please. Baba Pops. Hello. Greetings from Germany. Hey, Michael. How you doing? Hope everything is all well over there. I saw the news flow coming out of Belgium today. London in turmoil. It's insanity. No rule of law. Okay, we have some requests coming through. Joseph Gardner. All right, let's get to it. Joseph, hello. Adriana, one of our rare females, along with Trish and Kat. Great to have you. So you have some violence over there, but not as bad. Good to hear. I mean, the whole world is gone to hell. Something's got to break. Something has to give here. Okay, let's get to it. So the futures have settled down here. We're up about 1/3 of a percentage point from where we first began. It looks like we have a continuation move setting up. This is a 4-hour chart on ThinkorSwim, and these will all be 4-hour charts. I'll let you know if I change time frames. No new daily high thus far. We're a bit overbought on RSI, but that doesn't mean you can't press higher. Let's take a look at the Russell. The Russell is again leading the markets. It is up over 3/4 of a percentage point now. No new daily high yet. Let's go to the Nasdaq 100. Wrong chart. The Nasdaq 100 has broken out. So we've actually, let me put it this way. We haven't broken out today. Right? I need to rephrase. We broke out here on Friday, pulled back, retested. Now we're retesting yet again. It looks as though we're set to launch on the Nasdaq 100 to press higher. We are up just shy of a third of a percentage point. Now keep in mind that the Nasdaq 100 continues, let's go to the S&P, continues to lag the overall S&P 500. So you're seeing a continuation of money rotate out of, let's put it this way. You're seeing more money flow into perceived value trades rather than the Nasdaq 100, which have been leaders. So that trend is continuing as it appears going into the new trading week. Natural gas. It is up. It looks down to me. So yeah, it is up. It's off the highs of the session. All right, so we're up 1.35% on the session. Pretty weak trade, to be honest with you. You know, you have Chuck was good enough, fellow member Chuck was good enough to pass along an article about a huge amount of nat gas and oil coming off the market down in the Gulf, but we just went negative on nat gas. So that does not bode well for the new trading week. Now we're positive again, a lot of volatility here. I'm not feeling the love for nat gas going into the trading day tomorrow. Let's go to oil. We'll go with light sweet crude. It is up nearly 3/4 of a percentage point. And it looks as though we're going to press higher here. We do have resistance up here at around 40.23. So we still have some room to run on light sweet crude. We are quote unquote overbought on RSI. But again, it doesn't mean it's going to sell off. It just means that, you know, if you're long, you maybe want to consider scaling out a little bit, booking some profits, making them real. Let's check out Bitcoin. I really haven't looked at Bitcoin in a while. Still vacillating, just shy of 10,000. It's time to clean this up. This has gotten old. Let's clear all this up. And here's our new lower band of support. And our upper band of resistance. We're in a very, very tight, this is a little bit sloppy, but a very tight trading range. I think we're breaking out on Bitcoin. I think it's going to move. No bullish divergence on RSI yet. So we'll keep an eye on it. But Bitcoin is looking pretty good. What else do we have here? I want to check back in with nat gas. And I want to go to bonds. The one thing that concerns me about going into this new trading week, folks, is that, and I went over this in great detail yesterday on the weekend commentary with members, is the yield curve. The yield curve continues to steepen, and we know from past history, you get a steepening of the yield curve. At some point in time, you're going to get a divergence. You're going to have the S&P that rolls over while the yield curve continues higher. So when that's going to be exactly, I'm not quite sure. But beware. Here's nat gas again. We're back up. Trying to gain our footing here. Let's clear all this up. I want to create a new trading range here. I'm really surprised there's not more volatility here to the upside. And we are threatening the lower band of support on nat gas at current. So if you're looking to buy the futures, I mean, you know, it's a great place to buy. You're right at the lower band of support. You make a new low, you may want to stop out. But we really need to hold this support level. I'm going to set an alert here. I want to know if we make a new low on nat gas. Okay, there's my alert. I don't want to see that break. Let's go to bonds. Last week was a very rough week for bonds. Also for the dollar. In fact, I have the dollar in front of me. Let's go over that first. The dollar's catching a bid. It is broken out above a secondary resistance level. But here is your primary resistance level. Right at that 20-period moving average in blue. All right, so we may get a rally here on the dollar. We have a nice bottom here. And we're putting in a higher low. I think nat gas just broke. My alert just fired off. Let's go back to nat gas really quick. And there it is. Nat gas down about a 0.5 percentage point now. Not good. Okay, let's take a look at the VIX. The VIX is weak, as you might expect. This is the June contract, still holding 25. The 10-year bond, down again. Bonds continue to get hit. That means the yield curve is continuing to move up. You saw a bit of a dead cat bounce on bonds. We haven't broken the lower band of support yet, but it's not looking too good. So Chuck, fellow member Chuck, had asked me to go over Goldman Sachs. And before I went over that chart, I wanted to take a look and see how yields were doing, because rising yields, which is what we have right now, are bullish for the financials. So having that nugget of information in the back of our minds that we're seeing a rise in yields, we're probably going to see some additional money flow into the banks, assuming that we open where we're at right now on bonds or worse. We have broken this trend line, but I think we're going to break here. I think we're heading lower on the 10-year. Gold. Gold was annihilated last week. We're up right now. I don't think we're going to hold, especially if the dollar rallies. We were higher. We're off the lows of the session, or highs of the session, I should say. Let's check out silver. Got to clear this up. All right, that's better. Head and shoulders set up. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. That neckline is history. There it is. And it looks as though we're going to come down here. And I want to know when we do hit that level, because we're looking to buy precious metals at some point in time in the future. And my screen is freezing. Only when I'm live. Only when I'm live. Let's do at or below. Silver. Okay. And we're good. You need a good entry point on Bitcoin, TA? I think... Hold on one sec. Assuming that you're going to scale in. You know, me, I would wait for the breakout. You could nibble on it here if you want to. I wouldn't get overly aggressive, but I would wait for a breakout and above 98.84. Let it bounce around there, let it retest, then get a little bit more aggressive with the trade. But I think that this is going to resolve itself to the upside. This consolidation. You know, this is a weekly chart now. The trend is clearly higher. We do have a ton of resistance above at 10,047. You know, you get through that level, you may want to look to add to the position, but I would just build that position up. Nibble now, add more on a rally above that 4-hour resistance level. Was it 98? $98.84, did I say? Here. Yeah, around 98.84, 98.85. Here's your weekly resistance at 10,040. Add more on a close above that level. Most importantly, a close above that level. Ideally, get your retest, and then you wait for that next resistance level to get overcome, and you continue to build your position. But I like the setup here. I think it's looking good. Okay, checking some comments here. Flag Day coming. Oh, you like the background? Thanks, Joseph. AAU. All right, let's go to the... I have a bunch to go over here. AAU. Let's do it. Bitcoin's beginning to move right now. See that? Popping up now. Okay, we'll come back, check it out before we sign off. Let's go to... First, let's do economic data coming out this week. Tomorrow is the 8th. Nothing coming out tomorrow, the 9th. NFI Small Business Index. Not a big market mover. Wednesday, the CPI, that's Consumer Price Index. Federal budget. What budget? FOMC announcement. Whatever. They're not doing anything. PPI, I think that it's for the most part a benign week in terms of economic data. You know, they're not going to tell you the true CPI. They're not going to tell you the true PPI. So pretty benign, with the exception of maybe a surprise out of Jay Powell. He's not very good at press conferences. He's gotten better with sticking to the script, but many times he has a blooper moment. All right, let's go to first up, Goldman Sachs. Let's do what we typically do. Do a higher level view, starting with the monthly chart. And interesting setup here. For most of 2019, we spent it in a pretty much, it was a dead cat bounce. We were in a trading range, defined trading range. What was the lower band during that time frame is now the upper band of resistance. So I think we're probably going to get a pullback here on Goldman. Weekly chart. You have a resistance level that, actually two resistance levels that were hit last week. So what I would do here, I would create an alert on, I would look to nibble on Goldman, assuming that yields continue higher. Ideally, though, we're not waiting for a breakout on Goldman. I think that we're going to get a pullback, because I already took a look at the daily chart earlier. And what happened on Friday was that we made a run at let's get rid of this. This is old. Okay. So we gapped up higher, up and into resistance, and we reversed on the day. We still closed up on the day, but you had a lot of sellers that moved in, and they sold strength. So what I think might happen here is we may, I'm trying to overlay, yeah, here's weekly resistance as well. And throwing up a heat map. You know, they may fill the gap here at 215. That may make for a nice entry point. As a matter of fact, let's know if we break through as well. Keep it on a 2-hour basis. Keep this active. I did want to buy Goldman Sachs, but it got away from us. We made the right call, but we just weren't quick enough on the draw. And for a big pullback on Goldman, if we can get down to that 205 range, right where this heat map is, there's a lot of support in here. So that would be ideal for us to get in at that price point. And I think it's completely achievable. We'll keep it active for the week. Chuck, I'm going to pop this chart into the chat box. I know you have TrendSpider, so maybe you could import that. All right, next up, Msft. This is for Ricardo. I went over this yesterday, and he wanted to know if there was any change in my opinion on Microsoft. No, I think it's I think it looks good. I mean, you know, longer term, I'm gonna stand by my statement that on a quarterly and on a yearly basis, you have RSI that's above 90. They're probably going to rip it up higher, and I'm still looking to get involved with it long, but at a time of our choosing. And if you go to the members area on the watch list, I have an entry point for Microsoft where we want to enter that trade, as well as a stop loss point. So I think we're going to press higher here. I like Microsoft. No change from the commentary. If you want a more detailed commentary, just go check out Best Stock Charts. If you watch this on the replay, I'll link to it at the end of this video. Here's a 4-hour chart. We've already broken out. We've already retested. They're probably going to move it up higher tomorrow morning. So still bullish on Microsoft. Next chart up, HEXO. All right, I'm not familiar with this company, but we'll begin. There's not a lot of data here on a monthly basis. So all I really care about right now is, do we have a new monthly high? 89 cents was the high last month. No new high thus far. Weekly chart. Interesting. I'm not a big trader of penny stocks, folks, so I doubt I'll be trading this. You never know, though, if I do a little bit more research. But I do like the fact that we did break out last week. We flashed a Doji Star formation the week of the 18th. That's an indication of a possible trend reversal. And that's exactly what we got. We broke out. We have higher lows on our Stokes, higher lows on RSI, daily chart. Oof, way too busy. Here's your breakout. It looks as though we are going higher on Hexo. The chart looks good. Path of least resistance appears to be higher and gaining momentum. Hey, William, thanks for joining, pal. Thank you very much. Welcome aboard, pal. You have a symbol for me, William? Goldman Sachs, we did. XOM. I would think that with the tropical storm moving through the Gulf, that the strength in oil that we've already seen this evening is going to continue. I think that Exxon continues higher. We'll come back to the daily chart. We stop going down on a monthly basis. Let's get rid of this. I think we could rally up to a 60 handle. 62.89 on Exxon. Up here where these volume bars begin to spike out, that's where Exxon's going to have a lot of trouble. There's a lot of overhead supply up there. So if I was a buyer now, I'd be looking to book some profits as a swing trade up at 62.89. because, again, you have a lot of volume above, especially when you get up here at 66 bucks a share. A lot of volume, a lot of resistance above. Daily chart. All right, so short-term price target, 54, 52. I like the setup. You know, would I go buying it right here, right now? Probably not. I would like to see the ideal setup for me would be, and I don't know if it's going to happen with the price of oil rising right now, but would be a pullback and a filling of this gap on a daily basis. That would be very attractive. And I would look to ride it up to the low 60s, mid to low 60s. That's Exxon. Tesla. Amazing. I can tell you right now, it's probably going higher. Monthly chart. Wow, this is an event. This is an event. I have been worrying about these topping tails for a while, and we have broken through. Very nice. Weekly chart. I usually get a lot of questions about TrendSpider. If you're interested in it, there's a link below in the description area. You can get 25% off. Just click that link and use discount code TC25Z. And if you're silver or gold member, you get it free. But you don't need to be a member. You can just use that link down below. Let's remove this. These are old alerts. All right, so what I'd be looking for on a weekly basis is if by chance we get a pullback and a retest of the breakout point, which I think is very, very possible. Because remember, Tesla spent, let's go back to that monthly chart for a moment. Tesla spent a long time trying to break out and above that support level or resistance level. Now it's support. Trust me, traders are OCD. I know because I have it. They're going to want to see this support level tested. Daily chart. And you can see they already did it. They've already been doing it. Funny. But I'm looking for it on a as a matter of fact, you know what? You don't even need it on a weekly basis. I think the shares can be bought. I think they're going up higher. We broke out, retest 1, 2, 3 times. Okay. So I think Tesla, it's going to break out this week. So we're good to go. Set it and forget it. OSTK. William, PRTY. Okay. Funny. I have another member that is big on PRTY. Interesting. Okay. As a matter of fact, I think they report earnings tomorrow, PRTY, right? All right. So Overstock has had a very, very nice run. I got to draw my lines first. There we go. You can see we have a lot of resistance above on Overstock. As noted by these topping tails. And it's difficult for it to break out and above. Weekly chart. Last week, big move up higher, and they sold strength, taking it off the highs of the week. So where I dead set on buying the shares of Tesla, me personally, I need to see a breakout and a close above weekly resistance. All right, we're good with one. So that's the play for me. I want to see strength get rewarded. Meaning, if the shares earn our right, earn our investment dollar by being able to close above this stiff resistance level and close there, 3:55 Eastern Standard Time on a Friday afternoon, then I would entertain it. Right now, if I were to buy the shares, I'm buying right at resistance. And I've already taken a look at the daily chart earlier, and I don't like it because we closed well off the highs of the day on Friday. We're at a support level, but we're too close to resistance for me to say, okay, let's buy at the support level, right? I would need much more leeway between my buy point and resistance. Perhaps if we've got to pull back to this rising lower band of support at around, I don't know, 1750. But I couldn't buy it here. It's at the top of its risk range. I need to see a pullback, and then I would entertain. And I also want to point out, while we were making higher highs last week, RSI was not validating. We're putting in lower highs. So just be careful here. Especially with the opening. Why is Overstock rallying? It has a lot to do with, it was the fact that it was a Corona play. Just like Amazon. Patrick, Party City to report first. Yeah. Purchase on June the 12th. On the 12th. I thought it was tomorrow. I was told the wrong information. Okay. Okay. Let's go with SSYS. Stratasys. Cool name. And this is a 3D printing play, I believe. Couple of ways of looking at this one. Oops, blooper. All right, this is not happening. All right. one way to look at it is that we have an ascending wedge formation. We did break out last week. We did have topping tails. You have a ton of resistance above here. Right at the 21.17 mark. Where do we close out the week? We close it out at 19.11. Too much overhead supply. I couldn't initiate a new trade here on Stratasys. On a pullback and a retest of support, maybe at around, I don't know. I'm not loving the trade. I need to see a 17 handle on this thing. Let's go to a daily chart. Or weekly chart, I'm sorry. So we have a breakout on a monthly basis. Weekly chart. You could sell me on 1830 because that would be a retest of last week's breakout. That would be an interesting point to get long of because you could put a stop loss right below that mark at 1830. If you close down below, let's call it 17.99 on the day, you get out. But just keep in mind, you have a ton of resistance up here, 21.67. I would mark that down in your journal. Daily chart. Let's get rid of this. I don't like that trend line. So on Friday, we had an inside day. We closed off the highs of the day. I think that will probably move lower. And we're coming down here to that 1830 mark. And what my gut initially told me, a 17 handle would be ideal right at this lower band of support. And that would give me a place where I could say, okay, I know that I have support and buyers of like mind at these support levels down there. And if it doesn't hold, I know exactly where to put my stop. It's on a close right below that support level. So I would wait for support to get hit. I don't think there's any rush here. You know, it's good that we have a monthly breakout. I don't want to poo-poo it, but my big concern here is that you have a lot of overhead supply above, and we look weak on a daily basis, and we're very close to resistance. So ideally a pullback. That's where you load up with a tight stop right below, and hopefully you get a profitable trade out of it. But I have an alert set. If it looks good on a day, I'll entertain it. But it's got to come to us. There's no reason for us to go chasing it. SPG. Oh, Simon Property Group. This is an interesting one. How much damage have they incurred in the recent violence? Man, this is a tough one. I think that for me to get involved with Simon Property Group, that we would need a real serious pullback. And I think it's very, very achievable. Now, we have had, over the course of the past 4 or 5 days, a big short squeeze, as noted by the fact that we leaned in on 3 consecutive days to the third standard deviation Bollinger Band on a daily basis. We rallied right up into resistance. I think we're done. I think we're going to pull back. And I would only want to be involved with these shares if we pulled all the way back down here. It's got to have a 6 on it. 68, 69. Then I would entertain getting involved. Right now, there's been a short squeeze. The low-hanging fruit's been picked. We need a pullback. And then I would entertain buying Simon Property, especially with all the negative news out there, the riots and whatnot. The perception is poor for Simon Property. Obviously, the future of commercial real estate is not bright. Therefore, that makes it attractive for us because everybody hates it. Therefore, the contrarian in me says, you know what? Let's, of course, have the shares come to us, but be on the alert for a possible rally in the name longer term. So I like to trade, not here right now, but on a pullback. Our alert is set, and we'll revisit it. AAU. This looks like a mining play. Does anybody know what they mine? What their business is? All right, we'll begin with the monthly chart. So right off the bat, I can't buy the shares because we're right into resistance. We just simply won't do that. We will not do that. We will not buy into a resistance level, especially a monthly resistance level. So automatically, beware. That being said, I have to say, I'm loving the Stokes here. Higher lows, a W formation. Let's get rid of these two. Let's remove this. Remove this. If we manage to rally and close above this resistance level here in blue at around, what is this, penny stock? Yeah. At around, let's call it 49 cents. We pull back, do a retest. I think that you could then get a rally next month or the following months up and into around 66 cents per share. But it is a declining resistance level, perhaps a little bit lower. Hey, Oliver. Weekly chart. Weekly chart looks good. But again, you have resistance above. Watch, this is what we want to do. This is the value of TrendSpider. I automatically overlay the monthly resistance levels on a weekly chart. Boom. Can't touch it unless we close above it. And then you can get long. But ideally, you get a pullback. And then you get a running start for another charge up to monthly resistance. Daily chart. Yeah, can't buy it. Too much resistance above. I would revisit it if we see a close above 49 cents per share. Then it will become attractive, or a pullback to support at around 45 cents per share, 46 cents per share. I mean, it's a penny stock. We're splitting hairs right now. All right, moving on. Here we did EQT. EQT. Love it. This is a monthly chart. And this is what I always talk about when you get a retest of a breakout point, especially on a monthly basis. This stock is fighting back hard. We had broken out above not one resistance level, but two on a monthly basis back in April. Retest number 1 in May, retest number 2 in June. We have now rallied off the lows of the month. We are now positive on the month. We have not yet taken out the highs of last month. Our indicators are doing the right thing, heading in the right direction, which is up. Weekly chart. Very nice. We broke out last week. Look for a possible retest. Oh, I can't draw a support level alert there. Let's do this. Let's do this. There we go. Touch, bounce. Okay. Keep it active for the week, and we're good to go. Set it and forget it. You know, if you're a momentum trader, the market's still strong tomorrow morning. We get a new tick, a higher week over week. You want to add it then, that's fine. But you have resistance up here at, let's call it 1880 per share and declining. Where do we close? So it's a good risk reward trade here. So I like it. Daily chart. Very nice. Very, very nice. W formation. Here is your pivot point. We close right at it. I think a new daily high can get you long, or ideally a pullback and a retest of the support level of 1424. But EQT looking pretty good. Oh, it's a natural gas play. Interesting. Okay. Thank you. All right. Let's see. PRTY. One of my members, Charlie, is in this trade. He's got a ton of contracts, front month contracts, and he's killing me because he won't book profits. So at current, on a monthly basis, we are above resistance. Stokes are beginning to hook up. RSI is breaking out. But we're still very early in the month. Good weekly breakout last week. We closed the week out just shy of the highs of the week. There's going to be resistance at $2 and let's call it $2.07. If we rally through that, we're coming up here to 244 thereabouts. Daily chart. Charlie, if you're out there, please think about booking some profits. So next price target on Party City is $2 and let's call it $2.07. The chart still looks good. Hey, BA. Bruin, where you been, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Hope all is well with you. So PRTY looking good. American Tower. Ooh. I don't like the daily chart. It's probably going to press higher here, but you have resistance above. I like 261 on American Tower. We closed at what? 264. Yeah, here's your resistance level above, brother. And you can see sellers are moving in. Daily chart. Let's overlay that weekly chart. I could picture them gapping it up, and they'll rally it right up and into that 270 mark. I'd be a seller into that resistance level. I would not initiate a new trade here. Unless, of course, we pulled back to weekly support again at that 260 mark, then that would be interesting. But I couldn't initiate a new trade, and I would be looking. I think they'll probably pop it up higher. But 270, 269, 270 looks to be a good place where I would sell. Let's see. You take care as well, Brune. EQT, NEM, TRX, and NEM. We'll leave off with those two. Tanzanian Royalty Exploration Corporation. That's a cool name. All right, so monthly chart. We broke out here. We have an inside month so far. No new high, no new low. I could picture them retesting the support level at around 68 cents per share. Weekly chart. Yeah. You do have a bit of support here. I think that if you want to buy, you can buy, assuming that we do not break and close below 75 cents per share. Because if we fail to hold 75 cents per share, we can pull back to this next support level at around 65, 66 cents per share. And Friday's price action was really bearish. I mean, last week's, this is a weekly chart. Last week's price action was pretty bearish, but we did hold support. I don't see any rush to get involved here. Let's go to a daily chart. Yeah, you can see on Friday, they're defending the support level. Me personally, I doubt they have any short interest information on this stock. It's a penny stock. But absent a potential for a big short squeeze, I wouldn't be involved. But that's me. I like the support level. If we close down below it, then you need to wait. Let's go back to the weekly chart. You would need to wait for around 60, 65 cents per share before you got involved. So I would wait Monday, Tuesday, see whether or not we put in a new weekly low. If by Tuesday we haven't put in a new weekly low, then in all probability we're not going to. And then you could look to put on a position with a stop loss right below the lows of last week. That's how I would play it. NEM, no, Newmont Mining. It's the best of the best, along with Barrick. So, You know, this chart's speaking volumes right now. Gold is up slightly, or was up last look. We're going to take another circle around and take a look at the futures before we sign off here. But gold, the miners are under a lot of pressure. I would need to see a support level hit. Ideally, we pull back and retest $48 a share. That would be a good entry point. But if this deflationary story continues, you have to assume that we're going to see lower lows on gold, the miners, and silver. But I think longer term, this is going to be your opportunity. This is the second bite at the apple to load up on these names before inflation hits. We bounced last week, but I still think we're going to retest yet again. Daily chart. Let's overlay a weekly chart. I like this support level back down here. And watch the dollar as well. And if yields continue higher, remember that it's historically speaking, when you're not in a rising interest rate environment, those rising yields are negative for gold, miners, and silver. That all changes once stagflation hits. So our alert's set. Let the shares come to us. It broke down below support on Friday. It did bounce off of a weekly support level. Does it hold? I don't know. I'm not ready to buy it here. Let's see by the end of the week. We'll revisit it. I'm not going to create an alert here. Ideally, though, it comes down here to this support level at around 48, 49 bucks a share. Stokes is still weak. RSI is still weak. They rallied it in the back half of the day on Friday, up and into resistance. I can't buy the shares right now. I want to, but I can't right now. Let's go back to the futures action. We'll circle back. And we'll take a look at the S&Ps. They're still looking good. This is a 15-minute chart. Let's go back to our 4-hour chart. Still no new weekly high. The Russell holding gains. No new weekly high. The Nasdaq 100 is building. We have a new weekly high on the Nasdaq 100. Gold. That's not gold. Gold is now down. It was up earlier, and it is now down, and I think we are going to press lower here because my guess is that yields are still moving higher. And they are. We're off the lows of the session for the 10-year note. But gold's not appreciating the rally back. Let's check out Nat Gas. Last time we looked at that, it had broken session lows. It's rallied back a little bit. If we close out this 4-hour bar below the support level, that's not good. So I'm going to create another alert here. I want to know if we break to a new session low on nat gas. The dollar continues to build momentum here, holding support. Oil continues to gain steam. No shock with the storm. Bitcoin, we'll leave off with Bitcoin. Bitcoin looking good. No breakout yet, but soon. I think Bitcoin's going to be breaking out. With that, folks, everybody, have a profitable trading week. Please be safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Please smash that like button if you would, subscribe, and again, please be safe. Profitable trading week, and I will talk to everybody, members, tomorrow. Be well.